past evidence shows Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are exposed to a disproportionate number of stressful life events compared to other Australians, contributing to high levels of serious psychological distress and suicide. In response, the National Empowerment Project was developed. It aims to promote social and emotional well-being and reduce community distress in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities.
My role in the National Empowerment Project, I was actually the project lead in the Kimberley Empowerment Project. And after that completed, and that was in response to the high rates of suicides in the Kimberley, what I discovered was that there were no services. Then I'd go to Canberra because I sit on a number of national committees, and everyone's analysing these suicides, and there's money going into the region to prevent or to do something about them. But I know it's not getting down to the grassroots.
Stage 1 of the National Empowerment Project involved a community consultation that engages with local communities to ensure that local communities take ownership of the program.
A lot of respect was starting to be lost, cultural knowledge being lost. So it all contributed to breakdown of the communities. So people are looking to bring that back in now.
A lot of those issues that the youth will face alone, like, being out on the streets and roaming the streets late of a night time, it becomes a problem for other families who are trying to sleep or who are workers for the next day.
I know in my community of Coranda, that it's viewed as if, at last something's happening that involves the community, and perhaps we will see something come out at the end of it. It reaffirms the things that we've always been looking for. We've been looking for resources for healing centres, so we need to really seriously deal with the issues.
Once we can start bringing back those roles where we're supposed to be at, we can see our communities start building up again.
The National Empowerment Project is being delivered in 9 sites across Australia: Perth, Northam and Narrogin, Western Australia; Darwin in the Northern Territory; Coranda and Cherbourg, Queensland; Tumala and Sydney, New South Wales; and Mildura in Victoria. Local communities were assisted to undertake the consultation, collect data, analyse the outcomes and develop a report. These reports were presented by the consultants in a workshop on the 3rd of May 2013, and consultants were welcomed to country by Professor Len Collard, a local Noongar elder.
Some of the issues that was affecting individuals, families and the community of Cherbourg. So a lot of that come back to the break and enter, stealing cars and that sort of stuff. And youth are just running amok within the community at the moment.
So everyone sort of identified what our will succeeds with the community participation, like getting the numbers to attend these programs, keeping the numbers in as well.
We've got a 50-50 split. The women wouldn't let us have all the say. They made sure that they had a voice. And we had a wide variety from 18 years old to 50 and on.
Over 350 people participated in the community consultations as part of the project, with an average of 42 participants per site. 61% of the participants were female and 39% were males. There was a good mix in age range of the participants, with 21% aged between 18 to 25 years and 26 to 35 years, 29% aged 36 to 50, and 22% who were over 50 years of age. Only a small portion of the participants did not specify their age. Community members were asked to identify what issues were confronting individuals, families, and communities. The most common issues across all 9 sites included things such as health and mental health, employment-related issues, effect and impact of drug and alcohol use, family-related issues and concerns about children and young people. Other issues included such things as violence, housing, access to appropriate services, and racism and discrimination. A key feature of the research and consultation conducted in the National Empowerment Project sites was the importance of asking participants and community members about what makes individuals, families, and communities strong. Connection to culture, strengthening and unifying community, strengthening family, building self-esteem, and health and well-being were some of the things that community members said would make individuals stronger. When asked about what could make families strong, people said doing things together as a family, more education and awareness, connection to culture, and more effective communication were some of the things identified. To make communities stronger, people identified culture and that connection to as the most important issue, along with things such as more education and awareness, shared community events, a more unified approach, respect, and leadership. Setting up programs for delivery in a local setting is often difficult, and community members were asked about what some of those difficulties were. The most common response from people was lack of transport and the inability to attend programs or events. Others spoke about issues around shame, mostly relating to their own self-esteem and not wanting to speak up in front of others. Financial constraints, personal health issues, community and family feuding, and this often resulted in some members of community not being able to attend. And often people aren't aware of what programs or events are happening. Health and well-being, stronger focus on culture and cultural protocols and values, balancing and responding to gender-specific and age-specific needs, and more educational awareness and knowledge building are things that people in community say will be important inclusions for any program to be run on the ground in local communities.
Well, interviewing the 40 participants, we learned a range of issues that were affecting the community. So it's basically Aboriginal people saying what they'd like to see happen or be delivered back to the community.
They want to address the drug and alcohol issues. They want to engage in different programs, but due to the fact of lack of transport or stuff like that, they can't. So they're very passionate about having a voice.
Some of the younger people I interviewed really gave me sort of hope for the future, I guess. Some of their answers just really, really impressed me. It was a really enjoyable experience for me, doing that stage of the project.
Part of our commitment from the project is that we will develop an empowerment, healing and leadership project or program for each site. So now we can develop a generic one for each site. I'm hoping that we'll get funded to help all the areas, but we did encourage them to look to securing their own funding, and they will have the tools to get funding and to implement a program.
The findings from each of the local community consultations will be developed into a report which will be used to further develop an empowerment, healing and leadership program to assist communities deal with the high levels of distress and suicides based on what each community has said. There are many programs and initiatives happening in communities around Australia tackling the issue of suicide and suicide prevention, and the National Empowerment Project is just one of these, working directly with communities to find local solutions for local problems.
I was really glad I came today. I thought it was really good. On the really negative side, it was quite depressing to hear again and to get so angry as an Aboriginal person that really basic services like transport and housing and that still cannot be delivered to our communities when it is our absolute right. And I can't see how hard it is to put in centres for kids so that they've got activities and lots of things for our young people to do and just get the very basic services, and then why we get blamed for what happens to us when we don't have even basic services I just find beyond me. On the positive side, I again saw fantastic women, Aboriginal women and fantastic Aboriginal guys and young people and oldies all working together like we've always done, like our mums did, like our aunties did, like we continue to do. So I was really
just reminded how we have always tried to do it ourselves. We've always had a good go at it. In the end, the confusion and the half-baked solutions that we get thrust upon us. So fantastic. So you've made me feel really good for the weekend. Thank you very much.